Alrighty, everyone. Hello and welcome to the return of the Adorkable Anarchist world. I'm gonna try something, or just the Adorkable Anarchist now. I dropped world last episode. Now that I remember that. Wow! In the time since I've been gone, Google has gone way downhill with this whole live streaming thing. I mean, the way this is all set up now is complete fucking shit. I mean, good job, Google. Good job. Like, I swear, it looks like them and Apple are really going downhill lately. We need like someone new in the market to just come and knock them out of the park and remind them why the fuck they got in this industry. You know, I tried to put the banner up at the bottom, but it came out backwards. So I don't know if it's still like that. If it is, then I don't know what else to do. But anyways, we're here. We're going to try doing the ads a little bit different today. The first sponsor is the PontiacTribune.com. Go check out the Pontiac Tribune. It is currently down once again because, well, we've been getting so much traffic that it kept on downing our servers, so we're currently trying to straighten that out, but it should be up soon. Hell, it might be up by the time that you see this video, so please go check that out. Hell, I'm hoping one day maybe we could have a few people from the Tribune on here, maybe teach some of the people here at VVN a thing or two. But, all right, what's next? We are brought to you by I'm brought to you by Win Privacy. I know the rest of VVN is brought to you by White Cloud Security, but hey, Win Privacy also has very good, and hell, CNET rated them, I think, 5 stars out of 5, something like that. They gave them a really high score. It was really nice to see that. Plus, it's a family business that my uncle owns, and it's really good. The guy isn't an anarchist, but he's a homesteader, so that makes you feel good about it, and he's willing to fight federal agents tooth and nail to even let them have access to any of the files. So you're in good hands if you do choose him for a service. And I had one third and final sponsor. What sponsor was that? Oh, yeah, Distance Arts. You see that lovely piece of art in back of me? Yeah, well, if you want something like that, go to Distance Arts, or go check out Distance Arts on Etsy if you really are that lazy and you don't want to message me. Like, I'd really like to sell some of these paintings, and actually I'm about to get rid of one of them soon enough that I'll be telling you about momentarily after I play the theme music. And, yeah, until then, I have to go jump up and let a dog out real quick because he's crying by my door. But here, enjoy the theme song. I will never defend the man who make amends when the enemy's friends. I will never pretend. Alrighty, no transition there today. I'm just gonna be totally fucking lazy with this today. Alright, so by judging by the title of your video, you might be asking one of 2 questions. Ooh, Alan Watts, this should be interesting, or who the fuck is Alan Watts? Well, in case you don't know, Alan Watts was a British-born philosopher, born January 6, 1915. He's mostly well known for taking the philosophies of the East and transcribing it for a more Western audience. So I guess you could call him the Eastern philosopher of the West. And he's very interesting. It's very interesting listening to him. He has some very anarchistic flares in there somewhere. How there's even one lecture where he straight up talks about anarchism and what it is. So if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. Spoiler alert, he isn't exactly an ANCAP, but at the same time, he's not exactly an ANCOM either. It seems like he's just an anarchist who wants people to just be free. So I can get behind that, even if he does consider Kropotkin to be his model of anarchism. What are you going to do? Hey, at least it's not Bakunin. But he's also very known for his training in Zen. But for me to talk about what really made me want to do this episode today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened to me earlier this week. I'll be honest, I've been doing this show because it's been really depressing. Like, VVN doesn't seem to be going anywhere. How I'm about to say this, and probably no one who works on the network will ever see it. And to be honest, I was depressed about, like, what's the point of me doing any of this? I'm failing in school. Nothing's going well. And it's in times like this, I normally go to the New Age shop downtown. Not because I believe in that whole New Age type God concept. Because the people there are generally friendly, and compared to some of the really militant atheists that I've known, a lot of the people there you can really have good, deep philosophical conversations about it with. And while I was there, I met a younger couple about my age. And I'm also a firm believer in meditation. Not because, once again, spiritual aspect, but because there definitely is an aspect that helps with stress, depression, and anxiety. I mean, there have been multiple studies that have shown the benefits of this. This is why I consider myself an Epicurean, because I'm willing to acknowledge the evidence behind this that does prove its therapeutic parts that really help for pleasure, if that makes any sense. So anyways, I was talking to this young couple about why I was there and how I've been depressed lately. And another thing, I've also always been very up on crystal meditation because of the sort of energies that come off of them, which once again, there's some pretty interesting evidence out there that could show that there is sorts of energies that come off of. What that is, who knows? But so I was, and the one guy, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. He bought me this beautiful crystal and pretty much told me, here, I think you need this more than I do right now. You're in a very dark place. And I thought that to be so nice. And from there, we were talking about different philosophers, David, and different writers. I got to point out why David Icke isn't really the ideal person to go to. But other than that, I'm going to go get that real quickly, but continue talking. And basically, it eventually led into the works of Alan Watts. And wow, my animals are just driving me insane today. But this is just a completely disorganized show. But then again, is anyone even going to fucking watch this? But anyways, Alan Watts has always been, he's been a very great influence on me. And here's the thing, how I was really drawn to him. Now then, like it or not, libertarianism and anarchism is very limited in regards to some areas of philosophy. Now, a lot of people like to use this as the whole checkmate point for libertarians. Ooh, checkmate, your philosophy is limited. I don't see it like that at all. Actually, if anything, I see it more as an open philosophy, because then you have much more space or freedom to find yourself within this. It allows you as the individual to grow to points that you see fit. And, you know, I just lost my one viewer. And that let's see where I'm going with this. But because you're able to grow beyond those points, it allows you, the individual, to come to conclusions that maybe some other ones might not. I mean, you ask Democrats and Republicans certain questions, generally you're going to get pretty similar answers amongst almost all of them. Meanwhile, you ask a group of libertarians or anarchists the same question, you are going to get a different question, a different answer almost every time. And that's something that I think is just wonderful for the philosophy. So anyways, going on, we were talking about Alan Watts, and when I first discovered Alan Watts' work, it was when I was really trying to find something else to build the philosophy off of, and I found a "What do you want to do in life?" video, and it was absolutely wonderful. It changed my life. It made me want to look forward to what I want to do in life, and well, I can't say that I definitely made all the best decisions. I can say that the video definitely made me realize a lot that I wish I had seen in hindsight. And recently I wanted to go back and rewatch this video because I've grown more and I really was trying to find myself more. And this comes into the second part of the title of this video, which I am specifically talking to Mark Watts, Alan Watts' son, right now. Why are you copyright flagging all these videos of your father's work? I don't know if it's you doing it. Whoever's doing it, stop it. This is just horrible. I mean, what do you want to do with your life speech? All these different videos are being flagged for copyright. And it is terrible. Because first off, I firmly do not believe that Alan would have went off on people taking his works, taking out specific sections, and doing whatever they were with them. I don't think he would have been against that at all. I think he would have been very in favor of that, the people transcribing his ideas in different ways and finding new ways to present them. And some of these videos, you can tell people put tons of effort into taking footage from nature and all these beautiful things, putting beautiful music in the background behind Alan's voice. Why are you going after these people with copyright? What money is there to be gained? And even if there is money to be gained, then why are you doing this at all? Because his works greatly benefit a lot of people, including myself in life. I know I might be coming a little bit off of his a little bit ethos or panthos right now, a little bit emotional, but in a way it kind of is, because I know a lot of people who really do enjoy this guy's works. And if you're and you might be thinking, well, then just go listen to the lectures. Well, yeah, that's easy for someone like me who's a firm big fan of Alan Watts. But to someone who's not familiar with him, I'm not just going to hand them a lecture and say, here, go listen to this, because chances are they'll probably see that it's 2 hours long and they're like, fuck no. Like, it's easier to send them like a small thing like the what do you want to do with life video and have them listen to that and be like, huh, maybe I should look into this more, and then kind of send it down as a rolling snowball. I don't understand why whoever is doing this is going off on copyright, but it is a very bad both business decision and just ethical decision, because this is exactly what Alan, I'm sure, would not want to do. And, you know, this is really just being a flash cast today, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really intend for this episode to go that long, but yeah, Mark Watts, if you see this video by any chance, why are you doing this is what I want to know. And if you do have some sort of justification, maybe contact me. Maybe you could come on the show. Maybe you can talk with me about this. Maybe we could have a discussion about this, about the economics of it. Maybe there's something that I'm not seeing here. And if this isn't Mark Watts, then whoever it is, why? And if Mark Watts isn't the one, how about you contact me and tell me why you're flagging all this? Because this is certainly not something right. It's certainly not something that's helping out those in a free market of ideas. I mean, hell, if someone makes that video, this beautiful video with Alan Watts' voice, that could have been the jumping off point for them making a career out of video editing or whatever they were doing. It could have been a good jumping off point in their industry. So, yeah, that's pretty much what this boils down to. And sorry to kind of keep this a flash cast today, but until things start happening here on VVN, I don't know what else to do. I'm done with the news. I can't stand looking at Ferguson anymore. And I want to jump into like Zen Buddhism and Taoism and Epicureanism, but at the same time, I don't really see how I can always connect that to anarchy or voluntarism. Or who knows? Maybe I could get Derek Brose on the show. He's always been a very interesting guy to talk to. And you know, the funny thing about me and him is we have so much in common, but at the same time, we're so different. Like, he believes in a God, but I don't. But at the same time, we both believe in a sort of spiritual energy around us. A sort of chi, if you will, an organ. And, you know, I've totally derailed everything that I meant to talk about in this episode. Oh, man. But I'm probably going to change the title right after I do this, because this isn't really a fair episode on directly discussing Alan Watts at this point. But if you do get the chance to look into him, I highly do. I mean, he even was the one who said that, what was it? That it is the job of governments to fill the void before death with threats of violence, pretty much telling you that if you don't obey us, you'll kill one another or you'll kill yourself. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to learn from Alan Watts, especially in regards to anarchy. So I'll try and cover more that I can on him. And I have a book of his that I've been reading once again lately. So I'll probably end up doing that book review eventually. But until then, I think I've sort of reached the end of my rope for this episode. There's not really much I can really say. I mean, I'm running out of steam here, and no one on the network really likes to work with one another, to really coordinate or anything. So it's kind of like just being left alone in the dark. Honestly, I wonder why I'm even on this network. Would anything change if I just went off and did anything on my own channel? I don't know. Well, who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky and someone from the network will see this video and get where I'm coming from, because it is kind of frustrating. I mean, ever since I've started working at the Tribune, and there's so much coordinating with one another. It's very well done. It's very well organized. There's a lot of communication. It's a very well done site to work for. And on here, it's just a mess. Like, I haven't heard from Mike Shanklin in months. And I do understand that he's had a lot of business and family things going on, so I'm not trying to take shots at Mike or anything. But like I always hear things like he wants to try and make this thing big. Well, sure, but you have to try and you got to try and have an element of working with the people who you've recruited, if you will. I mean, like, yes, there is a laissez-faire aspect to it where you got to let people do their own things with their show, which I've done a lot, and I've certainly come a long way with Distance Arts, Win Privacy, Pontiac Tribune. I've come a longer way, but you still need to communicate with them. You got to sort of keep a consistency. Like, if you want to compete with the Young Turks or even Russell Brand's network, which he now apparently, I saw him talking about on Facebook, you're really going to have to work with one another. And you know, I can only hope that someone who works on the network will watch this straight through and understands what I'm saying, because it is really frustrating. I mean, like, the communication is just, it's the way this whole thing is run. Something needs to not change, but just like there needs to be something that happens that sort of helps get a sort of different kind of organization going here. Well, I think I've sort of reached the end of my rope, and I'm definitely going to change the title of this video as soon as I get out of here. But, well, I don't really know how to close this on because I'm not an optimist. But, I guess if you did take anything from this video, my one viewer who kept on dipping in and out, just I recommend looking into Alan Watts. I'll probably talk about him in much more episodes later on. Until then, I feel like I've reached the end of my rope. But without further ado, this is Mitchell Wiechek of the Adorkable Anarchist, pertaining to realism in the age of imperialism.